Okay, welcome everyone to the How to Promote Your EAP Center with Social Media. I am Edison Guzman, and you have my information on the screen right now. You have my Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest ways of accessing me, and also my website address right on there in case you have any questions later on after this presentation. What I'd like to do for the next 45 minutes or so is give you a quick presentation overview of what social media is, how to use it for your EAP centers, how to promote your EAP centers with social media. And as I go along, if you type your question in the chat box, I'll stop and I'll take a look at your question and try to answer it. If not, we can just wait until questions at the end of the presentation, at which time you can ask me anything you'd like. Okay, so with that, let's get going with the presentation. All right, and social media, of course, has to do with people connecting people, of course. I went to dictionary.com and I took out a presentation of, well, actually not a presentation. I took out a definition of what social media actually is. And I'm not going to read it to you, it's right there on the screen, but I also went to Wikipedia and I took their definition as well, and that's the portion in the bottom. Now, the portion in the center where it says you connect to others and others connect to you anytime, anywhere, that's my definition. Social media is about you connecting with others and others connecting with you instantly, just about anywhere. And when I say anywhere is if you have a smartphone, you can pretty much connect from anywhere you would like. Okay, you don't have to access the internet from a desktop anymore. You don't have to be at home or at the office. You can really just go into your cell phone and just access anywhere, anytime. Okay. So how you connect is totally up to you. And let me give you a couple of numbers as far as how many users are out there. Facebook, of course, is the largest with over 1 billion users. Okay, that means that there are over 1 billion people accessing Facebook. Not every single day, of course, but they have 1 billion users. Twitter is the second and has 500 million users. And by the way, I'm going to go into each and every one of these things a little bit more detail as we go along. All right, the third one, of course, is Google+. That's one that not many people have really heard of it, and even though they have 400 million registered users, they're not using it to the extent as Facebook, as they're using Facebook. But it is out there, and there are a lot of great things I like about Google Plus that Facebook does not have. And I already have a question from Stephanie. If you set up a LinkedIn account a long time ago and you can respond to invitations but cannot log on at LinkedIn, okay. I'm gonna ask everyone to, when you ask me a question, that the question has to do with what I'm talking about, because Stephanie's asking about LinkedIn, and I'm not going to jump ahead to LinkedIn just yet. So if you can ask me the question that has to do with the part of the presentation I'm at, or at the end of the presentation, just ask me anything you want. Okay, I'll appreciate that. Thanks. All right, what's up to Google Plus? They have over 400 million registered users. LinkedIn has over 175 million users. You know, LinkedIn is more the business-to-business type social media. Okay, Pinterest has over 20 million users, and I think they have a little bit more, but the research I did, I just came up with the number 20 million. I think I have a little bit more, but Pinterest is not really for businesses, but I'm going to show you how you can probably use it. I'm going to touch on it because so many people have a lot of questions on it. I threw in YouTube here because YouTube is social media, but I'm not going to really cover YouTube too much. I'm just going to stick to Facebook, Twitter, Google, and LinkedIn. Okay, YouTube has over 4 billion views per day. That's a lot of people going on YouTube. Okay, Instagram, I'm not going to go into much either, but it's something you should be aware of course. And Instagram has over 8 million registered users. Instagram was actually just purchased recently by Facebook. Okay. Did you guys lose audio? Because I'm okay with audio here. If you lost audio, please type. Well, you can't hear me if you lost audio. I'm going to type in here. Who can hear me actually? Type in the chat box, you can hear me, yes. All right. The majority of people can hear me, so if anyone lost audio, it might be something on your end. Okay, thank you for replying. All right, if you lost audio, it might be on the end. If anyone loses audio in the future, just, if a whole bunch of you say, I lost audio, that means that a whole bunch of you, lost audio, and I'll have to adjust on this end. But I'm going to continue now because everyone is saying that they can hear me. Cindy, sorry about you losing audio. Well, you can't hear me anyway, so it doesn't matter if I apologize, doesn't it? Anyways, let's continue on. A couple of interesting facts. 80% of companies are using social media to find employees. So that's one thing I tell people all the time. You guys can actually, through EAP centers, you can actually go online, especially through LinkedIn, and find okay. 80% of companies are using it to find all the employees. You guys as centers can actually find not just employees, but you can actually find clients, and we're going to go into that a little bit later. But a lot of employers are using it to actually find people out there. Okay. Now, 1 out of 8 couples actually that are married today met through social media. Right, and I'm pretty sure that 1 out of 8 couples that marry through social media are probably going to divorce because of it also, because social media can get you in a lot of trouble as well. All right, but 51% of the population can access social media through their smartphone. Okay, so if 51% of the population can actually access social media right through their smartphones or their tablets or anything like that, then they can definitely have access to anything, any information that you put out there for them every single day or every single minute. Okay. Now, why use social media to promote your EAP center? Okay. Now, you can use social media to do a lot of different things, and a lot of us use it on a personal level. Okay, but when you use it to promote your EAP center, you can keep prospective customers or clients actually informed as often as you wish. So when you actually have a group, or you have a page, or you have a profile, and we're going to talk about groups in a second, but when you create something for your specific clients, okay, it could be the clients in the existing class right now, or clients that happened 2 or 3 classes ago, you actually can stay in front of them, and they can stay in front of you a lot easier and faster through social media. Okay, you could also target your market easier, cheaper, and faster than ever before. You know that when you are advertising your programs that are coming up, you have to either advertise in the newspaper, that costs money, advertise on radio, some of you do that costs money, cable TV, that costs money. Yes, you have a marketing budget, and yes, you can do that, but to supplement that, you should use social media because it's inexpensive. It's just investing your time in doing so. And yes, you can also advertise in social media, and I'll get to that later on as well. Now, you also create a higher search engine positioning when your website links back to when the social media links back to your website. In other words, if you have a profile on Twitter, you have a profile on Facebook, one on Pinterest, one on all of these different places, anytime you have an event, anytime you have a press release, anytime you have a success, anytime you have anything worth noting, you can simply mention it on your website, right? Press release on your website or blog post on your website, and then take the link from your website and post it onto Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or all the other ones. What some people do is that they just simply mention it on Facebook, and that's it. They leave it right there. However, if you actually comment on your wall on Facebook, for instance, and you say, we'd like to congratulate our latest success story, here's their information, or here's something about that success, and then it's a link that goes back to your website, that's going to help you a lot more than you just posting something saying congratulations to this person. Okay, When you post an event like upcoming classes or things of that nature, and you post it on Google Plus or LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook or any of these other places, always put the event on your website first and then link from these places over to your website. Okay, that helps you with the search engine positioning. And search engine positioning for your website works to your advantage, because when people are searching for, getting into the business of growing your business or starting a business or whatever it is, your website should come out before anything else comes up. Okay, you also can connect with clients automatically, and your clients can receive information automatically online. You can do this, you can update information on your website again, or you could just simply create a group within Facebook and have people within Facebook or Google Plus actually be updated as to anything that you like to inform them at. It's free and abundant, we all know that, and you can get feedback from clients a lot easier than any other medium. Now, to get the most out of your social marketing, you should set up a profile at social networks such as Facebook, Google Plus, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Okay, Pinterest, I'm going to mention it, but I'm telling you right now, Pinterest is not something that you should not spend too much time on. Pinterest, and I'm going to go deeper into Pinterest later on, but Pinterest is just one of those things that a lot of people are talking about it. It's a lot of buzz about it, but unless you use it wisely, you're just going to waste a lot of time. And even when you use it wisely, you're still going to waste a lot of time. All right, but Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, and Twitter are your go-to social media networks right now. When you create anything on them, when you set up a profile, the thing that most people don't do is that they don't get involved. Okay, I have a lot of clients that they create profiles, and what happens is that they just create a profile and then they don't do anything with it. Social media is about you commenting on other people's statuses, commenting on other people's comments, sharing photos, sharing video, sharing anything that has to do with anything. In your case, for your center, you can create a page for your center, and I'm pretty sure some of you have already done this. But if you can create a page for your center, all you have to do is make sure that you add information to it on a daily basis. Some people don't do it on a daily basis. Some people do it every 2 or 3 days. Some people do it 10 times a day. So the question is, how often is often enough? It all depends on how much stuff you have to talk about. All right, you can post something 2 or 3 times a day, or you can post something once or twice every couple of days. It all depends on the messaging. It all depends on how important it is, what you want to convey to others. If you just post menial things that nobody really cares about, I mean, I'm not talking about like the little cute kitties that you put online so people can laugh at them, or the talking dog or anything like that. I'm talking about business things, like success stories is one big thing, upcoming events, technical assistance, one-on-one consultations, any of these things you can mention as often as you like without, of course, beating people over the head. All right, always link always link your profile back to your site when posting. I mentioned that before. Always ask your clients to join your network. Naturally, if you're going to create a network, you want other people to join. Anyone that goes through your course, they should know, through the EAP course, there should be a session in there about social media, of course. You should make them aware of that at that point. When they create a profile, then you can automatically ask them to join your group or your page, or just become a member of Facebook or anything like that, or connect on LinkedIn. Whichever social media you're using, whichever medium you're using, each one has its own way of connecting through it. All right, so you can also use this to exchange ideas, comment on things, at events. But the biggest reason is to build a strong community with a common cause. And when you build a community with common cause, that is actually something that is going to be make it more powerful, and people are going to want to come back to. I have a question from Darlene that says, I have heard that if you post too often, your posts go into a sidebar instead of the normal timeline post. Is this true? No, that's not true at all. If you post a lot, very often, yes, it does go into the sidebar, but it doesn't disappear from the main comment wall. and that sidebar is actually being removed. It's already happened. It's being replaced by advertising. What Facebook, for instance, try to do is they try to get you used to looking in that area on the right hand side there, okay, so that when people are commenting and everything else, you keep looking at it, see what people are saying and everything else. Some people are already seeing ads there instead of that chat box or instead of that comment box, so it's just a marketing thing on Facebook's part. But yeah, if you post a lot of things, sometimes people think you're crazy. It's the whole thing. Not crazy, but just people think that you have nothing else better to do. But if you're posting something that's very, very important, you know, throughout the day, like people are waiting for things, then people are not going to think that, you know, it's menial things. And anything that you post, of course, has to do, like for instance, if you have a class that's coming up, okay, that's coming up and the deadline is tomorrow, you can post 2 or 3 times in one day and say, you know, the deadline is tomorrow. Just want to make sure that you are registered if you haven't registered yet. And I'm talking about for everyone, okay, not just for your group. For your group, if you start posting too many different things and they don't consider it important, then they're not going to go back to the group, okay? So you have to gauge that, all right? All right, so I hope that answered that question, Darlene. So how to get the most out of social marketing, continue broadcast upcoming releases, events, awards, acknowledgements, etc. So just continue to broadcast things of importance to your page or to your audience, actually, okay? Use photos, videos, and presentations. When you put videos or pictures up, people get more, it grabs their attention more, okay? And Joyce says here, I think I saw an option that would allow you to keep a post up front until you remove it. There is an option that you can actually link or pin your post to the top of the page. You can do it up to 7 days and you can remove it whenever you want. But yes, that's something that you can also do. And again, Facebook does all these things so they can get you hooked on pinning things of importance. Because they also have it that you can promote a post that you post on there. So Facebook is very innovative now in how they're raising money, because you guys know they went public, so now they have to please their shareholders. So anything that they do is cool and is free, but ultimately you will be paying for something, and not you as the consumer who's using it, but you as the advertiser who is going to try to get the most out of Facebook so that the most people can see your message. So that is correct, Joyce, that people can actually do that, okay? When you use photos, videos, and presentations on Facebook, okay, people will actually see it much faster, okay? They'll be drawn to it much faster. Now, Facebook and all this other social media is about helping others and helping yourself, actually. Okay, when you're trying to, of course, get the message out there that there's help out there, because mostly social media is just about staying on top of the latest what's happening in other people's lives, what are their relationships about and things of that nature. For your EAP centers, you want to use it mostly about what's going on at your center, how you can help others more than anything else. Okay, so Stephanie's saying, so you should put the postings on the social media, then link to your site. Yes, that is exactly the way you should do it. But make sure when you link to your website that you're linking to wherever that information is expanded to. For instance, if you have a blog on your website and you talk about the success story of the month and how this person struggled and now they made this business for themselves and they're already successful, they had a grand opening or whatever it is, tell the story on your website. But when you go on Facebook or LinkedIn or all the other social medias, you just hit a little, type a little hint about it, a little blurb about it, and then a link to your website. Okay, Stephanie? All right, so helping others, and that's actually one of the ways you're going to help others is by posting things like that, because that when you post things like that, that motivates others to start their own business, okay, or motivates others to get over their fears of doing certain things. All right, so anything that's going to help others is what you're going to do with the social media, but it all starts with your website, of course. Now, I mentioned before that you should create a group and interact with them regularly. On Facebook, you can create a group, you can create a page, and the difference between one and the other is a page is usually public for anyone to see, okay, or everyone to see actually. A group can be just a group of individuals. Let's say, for instance, the EAP directors can create a group that Joyce moderates or Flora moderates, and you all discuss anything you'd like within that group. It's a tight, close-knit, private group. No one else can access that group unless they're invited to the group, or unless you authorize them to do it, of course. Okay, so a page, fan page, anyone can, or a like page, as they call it now, anyone can access that. You can make it private, but it's usually not to be made private. A page is usually open for everyone to see, whether whether it's something private that you want to put on there or not. I wouldn't if it's a full page. Now, within your group, or within your fan page, or within LinkedIn, or within any other social medias, you can ask people to ask you questions, and you can answer the questions, and that will give you that will have you become an authority. All right, provided, of course, that the questions you're answering, that the answers are good. If you're just answering a lot of questions and you don't seem to know what you're talking about, people catch on to that very quickly, and that will work against you. Okay, so when you answer questions, make sure that you're accurate in your answers, and make sure that you know what you're talking about, because people may have follow-up questions to the answers that you give them. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next slide, which is social media rules to live by. Now, social media rules to live by. First, decide the overall picture. What is it that you're trying to accomplish before you do anything? Before you do anything online, make sure that you have an understanding of what it is that you want to get done. And before I go further, let me take another question. Urban League is asking, so we can announce upcoming classes, etc. Does our consent form need to be changed to reflect social media? Well, your consent form should read that you can use their likeness in any media. Okay, so if it doesn't say that on your consent form, you have to rephrase that, but it should be that you can use their likeness, especially testimonials, in any media, anywhere, electronic or otherwise. Okay, so you don't need to specifically say social media, unless you really want to. All right, so always start with the end in mind. You always want to make sure that whatever strategy you want to implement, that social media fits that strategy. Okay. What I mean by that is pretty much this: if you know that you want a close-knit group of individuals, private, that no one else has access to, okay, and let's say that is your existing EAP class, you create an EAP group, and the EAP group could be EAP group, let's say 12512. Okay, that's the group that just started here at the chamber on January 25th. The reason you want to name a group 12512 is because then you're going to have another group in September, or whenever you have another EAP group. All right. So every time you have a group, you can name it whatever date, and it'll never be the same. So if your end result is to just address the group there, so that they can interact with each other, for instance, without interacting with you necessarily, or interact with you and the other instructors, okay, you can do that. No, the end result there is, I want this class to interact online without me being there. So that's the end result. If the end result is just to get more, to be out in the public more, so that you can promote your EAP centers more, then I will go with a page as opposed to a group again. Okay. Someone is asking, Dina is asking, will we be able to print this out later? I could send you the PowerPoint presentation, yes. Okay. But you should be able to watch this later as well. All right, so decide what it is, what the overall picture is, whatever that is, that's the strategy you're going to follow. All right, so don't create a page and then say, oh, okay, I think I'm going to use this page to do X, Y, Z. Okay, think of what it is that you want to force first, because you may not need to create a page. You may need to create a group. And I'm just talking about Facebook in this instance. For Google Plus, it's pretty much the same thing. You create pages or you create profiles. You should always create a profile and then you create a page afterwards. And you can create as many pages as you'd like, but you could only create one profile. Okay, that's the way Facebook wants it. All right. Second thing is limit the time you spend on social sites. A lot of people just go on sites and start watching what other people are doing. They just start looking around. They start reading, the barking dog thing, watching the videos and all that, and 2 hours go by and boom, you just wasted 2 hours. Know exactly what you're going to do on your social sites. All right. Some people, I go into my social sites and I just look to see who commented on what. If I have any private messages, if anyone has invited me to anything that I should attend, and then I'm out of there. Sometimes I look around and I type someone else's name in, and I say, oh, I wonder what the person is up to. And that's what social media is all about. Just keeping tabs on different organizations, different people, different events, and things of that nature. Okay, but limit the time that you spend on it, because it'll go by very quickly. Share your views appropriately. Now, the election just passed last week, right? And there were a lot of people prior to the election that were voicing so many opinions. And yes, we can feel one way or the other about certain things, but just be careful what you say, because I know a lot of people got into a lot of heated discussions, and a lot of friendships ended because of that. All right, so just make sure that whenever you voice your opinion, or whenever you voice your view, it's something that, yes, you can voice your opinion, but just be mindful of other people's perspectives, okay, and just be mindful of how other people are going to perceive you for anything that you type on there. And just know that once you type something on Facebook, and once you upload something on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube or any of the other places, it's open source. Anyone can grab it, anyone can share it, anyone can comment on it, anyone can take a picture of it and send it off to a whole bunch of different people. Some people think that they could just type something on there and then delete it later on, and no one is the wisest. No, definitely not. Once it's online, it's online. Okay, even if you can't get rid of it a second later, some people just sit by their computer, they see something, and they could just do a screenshot. They print the screen, and when they take a screenshot of it, even if you delete it, it's still there. Now they have it. It is permanent. Okay, so be careful what you actually type up there. Only post information you like to share. Okay, no hard sales pitches. Some people go out there and say, buy my product now, buy my product now, buy my product now. Depending on how you're using your page, and depending on how you train audiences in your profile, you can actually do that, and you can get away with it. All right, people that don't want to hear sales pitches, and what I mean by sales pitch in your case is going to be, register for our upcoming class, or come to our next event, or things of that nature. The people that don't want to hear your message will block you or they'll just remove you from their feed so that they don't have to hear or see what you have to say. That means that the people that don't block you are the ones that may be interested in what you have to say, and those are the ones that will actually show up to your upcoming events. So me, I don't take it personal when I go out there and I'm promoting an event and someone blocks me. First of all, I don't know who blocks me because I don't follow. Facebook doesn't tell you who blocks you or not. You just find out later on when you know that they're not on your feed anymore, and you're like, oh, that person probably blocked me. All right, but the people who are interested in what you have to say are the ones that are going to stick with you. Everyone else, they may be friendly to you if they meet you elsewhere, but if you hard sell them all of the time, you are definitely going to make a couple of people, not enemies, but you're going to make a couple of people uncomfortable. So try not to hard sell. All right, you have to brand yourself positively. Always brand yourself with something positive to say. A lot of people say post a lot of negative things online. I'm happy to not be a part of too many people that post too many negative things, but there are some people out there that all they do is complain. All they do is talk about other people, or follow the drama and everything else. Stay away from things like that, of course. Don't complain too much about too many different things. People they're attracted to people that are more positive than negative. So when you brand yourself and your center and your speakers and your instructors, always brand them in a positive way. And I know I probably shouldn't even be saying anything like that, because that just makes sense, but you'll be surprised how many people actually say something negative about something and then they introduce them as an instructor later on. So it doesn't make any sense to do that. So just say positive things. Okay, interact frequently, but don't overdo it. And I mentioned this before. All right, social media is about interaction. All right, commenting on other people, sharing people's posts, and things of that nature. All right, you should do it frequently enough, but not so much that people are going to get sick and tired of you. Okay, become a good resource to others. If you become a great resource to other individuals, they will follow you and they'll want to go to your page or to your group or whatever it is. All right. Now let's go into each one a little bit deeper. Okay. Let's talk about Facebook for a second. I took a screenshot of Facebook's login page. They have that cool video up there that they're talking about the chair that connects everyone. So, okay, a chair does connect people. You're sitting down, whatever. You can watch the video there. But the reason I took a screenshot of this is to show you how to actually create an account if you haven't done so yet. It's very simple. You log in through the top here, okay, where it says email or phone, and or you sign up by completing that area that says like your first name, last name, your email, password, your male, female, birthday, and things of that nature. Okay, it's very simple. Once you do that, they guide you through everything. So if you don't have a Facebook profile, the very first thing I recommend that you do is get a profile. Don't just log in and get a page. Okay, some people just start off with a page. See in the bottom, right under where it says sign up on the graphic, it says create a page for celebrity, band, or business. I don't recommend that you do that first. I recommend you create a profile first and then create a page from that, because then you can give different access. You can make other people administrators when you do that. And you have a couple other benefits that you won't notice that if you just create a page and not a profile first. Okay. Now Facebook has something called timeline, and I really like this timeline thing because timeline, if you could think about it, your own timeline in your life. Okay, you were born, then you went to school, then you went to high school, then college, then you got a job, maybe you got a job in between high school and college or whatever, and then you maybe got married, or maybe never got married, but you met this person, you met that person. Anyways, that's the timeline. Those are the things that happen in your life. Okay. Okay, someone's asking a question, must you give real birthdays? I recommend that you do give real birthdays. However, you don't have to. It is part of their terms and conditions that you do give them your real birthday, but you don't have to. Okay, just make sure that if you do put a birthday that is a fictitious birthday, that is a birthday that is at least 18 years older, or I think it's 14 years older, because Facebook does not allow anyone, or you'll be limited if you're under 18. So make sure that it is more than that. Okay, and by the way, you can hide your birthday, so why wouldn't you put your real birthday in there? You can hide your birthday so nobody knows what it is. Okay, except Facebook, they'll know, of course. So getting back to the timeline thing, okay, the reason, well, Facebook created this as a timeline so that anything that happens, within your profile or within your page, you actually, Facebook keeps track of it, right? The reason I like this so much is because, let's say you started a timeline, a page for a specific group of individuals, your current class. As your current class checks into that phase over the years, they can actually say, oh, this happened to me. I just opened up my business. I just closed my business. I just grew my business. I just hired an employee. Or does anyone know if anyone I can hire in this area or whatever it is? So everything that's posted on that timeline or on that page is actually tracked, so that you can actually go back years from now, or whichever class you're actually in right now, you could go back and say, look, this page is from that class and this is their timeline. They took the class, they took the course, they did the business plan. This is when they turned it in. This is when they actually got it back and everything else. And this is when they graduated. These are pictures of the graduation. These are video testimonials of the people that some of the people that attended the class. These are a year later, a few months later, whatever it is. These are the ribbon cuttings for these businesses. These are the employees that they just hired. In other words, it's a great way to track everything that happens through for each and every single class. Okay. And it's a great way for New York State to go back and say and see, what people have done, from each and every single class. Yes, it's going to be public for everyone else to see, but that's one of the beauties of these things. You make it public so people can be inspired by the success of other people. But they will also have a few people who don't go through with their businesses, or some people who had hard times and didn't make a go of it and everything else. If you do your job correctly, EAP directors, you will be on top of these individuals, and you'll be their source and resource, and so will the other instructors. So you'll be the resource so that they will be successful. Okay, so you don't have too many people not starting businesses and things of that nature. Okay, so the timeline is a great way to keep on top of these things. All right. Facebook has the like button, the share button, the chat, the comment, the photos. Okay. In other words, if you like something on Facebook, or if you like a photo, if you like a comment, if you like a picture or video, anything, you can just click a little button that says like, and when you do that, it shows up in your feed. Which means that if you put something online of a testimonial or something, and you get other people to share that testimonial, that's free publicity for you guys. If you get a picture of the graduating class of 2013 or 2012, let's say, and you ask all the students, all the clients who actually share these things, everyone on their pages or on their profiles is going to share it as well. And that's one of the ways you make yourself go viral. Okay, so think of things that you can put online that people can like and people can share. Okay, and people can comment on as well. When people like things, let's say you have a whole album on your website, for instance, you can actually have the whole album on your website. And you can get people, and you can put a like button or share button or comment button on your specific website, so that people can like it on your website as opposed to just liking it on Facebook. When they like it on your website, it gives you better search engine rankings. Okay, because you have interaction on websites. Google loves interaction on websites. Okay, I don't want to get too technical on how to do things, do things like that. But most of you have web designers. If you haven't gotten someone to put a like button on your website, get someone to put a like button on your website from Facebook, LinkedIn, and some of the other ones, okay? Or just social media sharing buttons. It's better when they share it from your site as opposed to from your Facebook or social media site, okay? So chat. You can chat with people. I usually have my chat turned off on my Facebook when I'm on Facebook, because so many people just start chatting with me and then another 2 hours go by. I usually have my chat on in my own social media site, HVBiz, but on Facebook, way too many people. So you can have it turned off, you can have it on, but it's just a great way to communicate with people right there and then. It's instant communication with people. Comment. You can comment on anyone, and anyone can comment on anything that you have out there, like photos, videos. Okay, you could tag anyone on anything, especially with images. In other words, you could have 5 people, or 10 people, 15, 20 people just graduated. You can actually put the names of each individual in that photo, and they're all tagged. So that means that they all share that same photo instantly. Okay. You can have your tag setting that if someone tags you in something, you have to approve it before it shows up in your feed. because if someone tags you on something and you're not too happy about that photo, you don't want it to show up on your feed so that all your friends and you know, clients and members and everything can see it. So those are things that you can go into your settings, and you can you know, see how you know, set your privacy settings. Again, you can create groups, you can create lists. Lists is cool because when you have someone become your friend on Facebook, for instance, and on Google Plus, which I'm going to get to in a second, and Google Plus is called Circles, is something different. But when you create a list on Facebook, that means that when you join someone or someone becomes your friend or whatever, you can actually have someone assigned to a specific list. So let's say that it's an EAP client. You can create an EAP list. So anytime that you post something on your wall, you can just direct that comment to that particular list, just to EAP individuals, not to other individuals like your family and friends and or anyone that has nothing to do with EAP. Okay. You could do the same thing for, I know some of you handle more than one type of program. So instead of EAP, it could be some, you know, minority women on program or anything like that. Flora is asking, Eddie, let me get to Eddie first. He's saying, I agree with using Facebook. I recruited about 4 EAP clients through my own Facebook. Yes, Eddie, that's absolutely true. If you use it correctly, you can definitely do that. Thank you for that. And Flora says, how do you do that? I'm assuming you're asking, how do you create lists, Flora? I'm not going to get into the how-tos in here, but I can actually, and Eddie's actually replying to that, just post time and date of the course. But you could actually just create this when you go in there, when you are in Facebook. Everything's pretty intuitive. Anyone that needs me to show them how to do certain things, I can have another one. How do you say? I can have another one workshop explaining exactly how to do something specific. But for now, I'm just going to stick to, you know, how to use social media to, you know, do all these different things. Okay. So Eddie's saying, just post time and date of the course. Okay, explain the EAP program. Okay, cool. All right, so you guys are having a nice conversation there. All right, comment, photos, videos, tags, groups, lists, pages, events, subscribe. Events. This is one thing that a lot of people are not doing. But whenever you have an EAP upcoming event, whether it's just technical assistance, you know, a 3-hour course, 10-hour course, or a full-blown EAP class, you should create an event for people to for you to promote on Facebook. Facebook has events, Google Plus has events, Twitter doesn't have events, but you can post it on there anyways. But you can create these events and, you know, promote it right through Facebook. I usually like to post the events on Facebook, but the event is actually on my website, so you can have it on your EAP website and then link from the event section of Facebook, for instance, to go to your website. And always, always, always tell people not to RSVP through Facebook or Google Plus or any other things there. You have to say it in the description that you must register through this link, and then that's where you put the link. That goes right back to your website for the registration form. All right, but you can promote it through your events through Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Google Plus. Okay. Subscribe. People can actually subscribe to your page. Even if you say, no, I don't want you to be my friend, they can actually subscribe to your page. When you do that, they won't see all your private posts. They'll only see what you have made public. All right. So if there are certain parts of your profile that you have made public, and I'm talking about your personal profile now, not your page. Your page is pretty much public, but your personal profile, if you want people to see certain things, people can subscribe and see those certain things. Okay. If people want to subscribe, if you don't make them a friend, they can subscribe. If you don't want them to subscribe, you could also, you know, like stop them from doing that as well. But that's another new feature that they've added recently. Let's talk a little bit about Google Plus. Okay, Google Plus, you can create a personal profile, of course, and create a page. Okay, Instead of liking a page, Google calls it plussing or one plussing a page. Okay, so you plus a page. It's called one plus. Instead of having lists, they have circles. Okay, and I took a screenshot there of when you go to log in, you see the circles: game, stream, hangouts, photos, and events. I like Google Plus. It's a lot easier because all your friends you could just drag and drop into a circle. That means whenever you're posting something, you just post to whichever circle you want. Whatever message, whatever video, photos, whatever it is, you post to whichever circle you want. Now, Google has this cool feature that Facebook does not have. It's called the Hangout. And you see the way we're doing this presentation right now, where you guys are listening and I'm actually doing the presentation. This is a web conferencing system. But through the Google Hangout, you can actually go online and video chat with up to 9 individuals free of charge. Okay, like if you have Skype, you can video chat one-on-one with people, and now Facebook has Skype integrated into it. But if you want to do group Skyping, you have to pay for that. With Google Hangouts, you can actually do a presentation up to 9 people and interact with up to 9 people. And you can actually do a presentation to the masses. You can record it and put it on there, and anyone can watch the presentation. So if you don't want to pay for web conferencing, it's a limited way of doing Google Hangouts. But for some of the centers or some of your students, you can actually you can share your screen, you can share your desktop, you can share your image. You can speak to other people and everything else. Some people are asking questions. Let me stop to read them. Did you say they can subscribe to your Facebook page? No, they subscribe to your not the page itself, but to your regular profile page. They can subscribe to it. Like if, let's say, I don't want you as my friend, so I'm gonna say no when you ask me to be your friend. You can still subscribe to my page. That just means that anything I have public, you'll be able to see. So if I ever announce anything, you'll be able to get my announcements, okay, because I make it public. But for my private things, like let's say I have private pictures of my daughter's 15th quinceañera, okay, I want to keep that private for only my relatives to see and friends, not for everyone. So they won't get anything that has to do with them when they're subscribed. They'll only get stuff that's public, okay. And Peter asks, must you have a Google email address for Google Plus? You have to sign up with Google. So yes, when you log off to Google Plus, they're going to ask you to create an email address and everything else. But Google has so many services, you should actually integrate everything with Google Plus. Okay, and Dina says, how do you actually start Google Plus? Well, when you log into Google, when you go to google.com, on the right hand side it says sign up, or if you go to google.com/plus, the plus sign, you see the little button in the graphic here, says don't have a Google account, sign up. You sign up, you'll get an email, a Gmail account, you'll get a Google account, a Google Plus account, and when you're in there, you're going to see on the navigation bar, you're going to see the little plus sign. If you're not logged in, if you're just in Gmail, you don't have a Plus account, it's just going to say you and then a plus sign. Once you have a Google Plus account, then it's going to say your name and then a plus sign. So yes, if you already have a Gmail account, you could just log in and then click on the navigation where it says plus. If you don't have a Gmail account, you can still just go to google.com and say sign up, and you can start your Google account. You can start your G Plus account, your Gmail account. They have Google Drive where you can share documents. You have the Google Docs. I mean, they have so many different things. But again, that's a totally different workshop. I will be more than happy to do for you guys as well. Just using all those great tools and teaching your students or your clients about those tools. It'll save them a lot of money, that's for sure. All right, so circles, hangout, chat. You could chat instantly, video chat, or just plain text chat. You could do instantly on Google Plus, the same way you could do on Facebook. You can do events. When you post an event on Google Plus, it looks so much fancier than it does in Facebook. You just have to do it and check the thing, choose a theme and everything else. It's just a lot of cool things. And Stephanie's asking, can you mix and match? For example, video the Google video chat and then post it on Facebook. on your website? Yes, of course. You could always link from one place to the other. You know, all the social media things, you can link back and forth. They all want you to use their services, of course. So they're not going to make it difficult for, you know, to access one thing versus the other. But Google Plus is just very, very cool features here. I don't think anyone's going to leave Facebook to go to Google, but you can supplement your Facebook with Google Plus, and I think it's a cool deal. You can have events, you can share comments, you can share photos, videos. Google has this cool feature, by the way, that if you have a smartphone and you take a picture, the picture is automatically uploaded to Google. That could be a dangerous thing. So make sure that the pictures that you take are pictures that you just want, you know, you don't want to share with the world. But it automatically shares it to Google if you want it to. But then when you go to your Google Plus account, you then have to authorize those pictures to be seen by whomever you want. You could also set it that if you take a picture, let's say you're at a ribbon cutting place and you're taking a picture of someone, you can share it automatically with Google Plus on your Google Plus page, and your Google Plus page has to do with, you know, ribbon cuttings in the Brooklyn area, in the Monroe area, in the whatever area, or just EAP ribbon cuttings, and then you have a page specifically for that. You take pictures, it automatically goes on there. You don't even have to go back to your office and do all these different things. Okay. For those videos pages, follow and be followed. You can follow people, you can follow companies, or you can be followed. Okay, that's something that Twitter actually started, and all these other social media places actually, you know, jumped on board. All right, so let's talk about Twitter for a little bit. Twitter is actually a microblogging system, and a microblogging system just simply means instead of posting a whole big article, you know, you blog a big article, you can only blog 140 characters at a time. Okay, so it's fast, it's easy. Twitter is great to be used if for your center. If you, let's say you want to say follow the center for upcoming events. Okay, so it'll be like, you know, twitter.com/EAP center, whatever. Okay, that means that when you tweet about something, it could be from your phone, from your computer, from your tablet, from anywhere else, people who are following you will get your message instantly. Okay, if the person has their messages going directly to their cell phone through a text message, that means that they're going to get a text based on whatever message you posted on that Twitter account. Okay, and Peter's asking, follow means what? Follow pretty much means that you're subscribing to someone's feed. So in Twitter, for instance, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of them have a follow feature. In Twitter, for instance, if you want to follow, let's say your clients want to follow what's going on in your center, all right, or not even your clients, people in your community want to follow what's going on in your center. You create a Twitter account for your center, and then you say, for the most up-to-date information, just follow us on Twitter. That means that if you, let's say there's a storm, and perfect example for this is for your clients. When you have a new class, like here in the Chamber of Commerce, we have it that people sign up to our SMS, which means they can actually get a text message if you know, because of weather or storms or any closings due to anything, which means that Cindy, all she has to do is not tweet about it, go online, text something into the actual interface, and everybody gets a message. People get it by email, and people get it to their cell phone. Well, Twitter, if you just use Twitter, it'll allow you to actually, if anyone's following you, like your class is following you, when you tweet about, you know, classes postponed or classes rescheduled or classes closed for tonight, it's last message things. People, most people have their cell phone on them all the time, you know, so it's better than email because people don't have to go back to their email and check their email to see if you know, class is still on or not. So as soon as you tweet something and someone's following you, that means that they want to know everything that you're up to. Movie stars, the celebrities actually use it to create a following of people. Okay, people that want to follow, I don't know, Britney Spears, Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, anybody. Anything that they do, they're going to be campaigning here, they're going to be campaigning there, they're going to be at an, you know, some event here, some event there, they're going to be performing here, there. They want to create a following, create people to follow them around because people are interested in things. The type of resource you should create with a Twitter account is where's the money. A lot of people are looking for money, so if you say follow where the money is and say follow us on Twitter, we'll let you know what's happening with all this money that is supposed to be used for the small business owners to grow their business. Or follow us and we'll let you know which banks are now dealing with the SBA, so that you can go in and get that. Or follow us and we'll tell you when the next EAP class is going to be. Follow us and we'll tell you whatever it is. You do it through Twitter. The only thing about Twitter, if you're going to use it for your EAP class, is that anyone can follow you anywhere. Okay, you can stop people from following, but once you're on Twitter, they have over 50 million people there. You're going to get a lot of people wanting to follow you, and they may not be just your students. So if you're just saying class is canceled tonight or class is postponed tonight, or the instructor says this is the link to his private software that he wants you to download for the class or whatever it is. So with Twitter, it's open to a lot more people than just your group. That's why it's better for you to have your own private thing. But Twitter, if you want it open to everyone, it's a great way for people to follow your resources, the resources that you're putting out for people out there. Okay. On Twitter, you can share pictures, you can share video. Okay, this is fairly new over the last few months. You can retweet. Retweet just pretty much means that if you like something that someone says, you can retweet it, which means that's how it goes. That's the viral aspect of things. Someone could just push a little button that says, "Oh, I like what this person says. I want to share it on my, on my profile," and then you retweet it. That means that people now that are following you will also see what that person says. You want to be able to have give people a reason to retweet your information. Okay. Retweeting is usually done when it could be something that someone says that's outrageous, something that's funny, something that's a great resource, something that people wanna just be on top of. Like now the Hurricane Sandy, and people want to know what's going on in a lot of different places. Social media was one way that a lot of people stayed on top of each other. Okay, through their cell phones. Even if you don't have power, you have your cell phone or your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone and you just you can't really follow on social media, but if you have a smartphone, that's how people stayed on top of things. That's how people knew that people were okay. So there's no power anywhere, but your cell phone still has power, as long, of course, as you didn't lose your connection, of course. Okay, but that's how you do it with Twitter. I put the little @ sign there. That's how you contact people. It's usually @Edison Guzman. If anyone wants to tweet me anything, it's @Edison Guzman. The hashtag sign, which is the pound sign for those of us, that remember the phones and how things are. But anyways, that's a hashtag sign, and that's to discover different markets. Like if you want to discover people who want to start, start your own business groups, for instance. That's how you do it on Twitter. You put the hashtag and then marketing or hashtag, quote building or whatever it is. Okay. So the follow and be followed, that pretty much is that's what you do on a lot of these things. You follow people or people follow you. Okay. LinkedIn is pretty much a professional social media service. Okay, you can create a professional profile. You can connect with other professionals. You can recommend and be recommended. They just started this cool thing that makes it very easy for people to recommend you. All right, very easy and they actually ask you when you log in. It says, these people. Would you recommend them for this particular things? It's very easy to just push a button, as opposed to before when you wanted a recommendation, you had to email the person through a specific form link, and then they will have to actually respond, and write you a nice testimonial or whatever it is. Well, now you can go to recommend, and 1, 2, 3, 10 people can recommend you a lot easier, or even 100 people can recommend you a lot easier than before. Okay, you can create and join groups the same way, and they're very active. A lot of active groups on LinkedIn, business groups that you may want to look into to see if you can join or should join. and become an authority there. They have Ask the Experts. You can actually go in and ask any question you want about anything, and people will actually answer them. Some of the answers are a little hokey though, but some of the answers are very, very good. People know what they're talking about there. When you answer a lot of questions there and people see you as an expert, they go to your profile, and that's how you attract people to your profile. And always make sure that in all of these social media sites you have a link back to your website. Okay, LinkedIn also has a lot of great business news. Okay, LinkedIn has a lot of great business news that you can follow. So if you're interested in one particular thing, like Forbes, for instance, magazine, or Forbes website, you can actually go directly, through LinkedIn and link to them through there. Okay. Stephanie says, maybe I should ask offline, but I keep getting invitations on my work email. But when I go to get on log on and put in my work email address, LinkedIn does not recognize this. This does not make sense. Okay. That just means that when you're trying to log on, you're putting in the wrong email address. You always have to log on with the email address that you created the account with, not an email address that you might be using now for something totally different. So always, whichever email address you use to create that social media group, the social media service, always use that email address and that password. So if it's not being recognized, it's because you're not using the right credentials. Okay. All right. Urban League, I guess, doesn't have a question. Oh no, it's Stephanie Miles of Urban League. Okay. All right, so that's LinkedIn in a nutshell. And Stephanie's still saying, but I don't know which one I used. It was years ago. Okay, that's something we have to discuss offline. Okay, but yeah, what Joyce just said, just follow the instructions on recovering your password. Everything is pretty much online, and it's intuitive for you. All right, let's talk a little bit about Pinterest. As you can tell from my tone from the beginning of this presentation, Pinterest it doesn't really hold my interest. You get it? Pinterest, interest? Anyways, bad joke. Anyways, in order to take advantage of Pinterest, you create pin boards. Now, pin boards are things that, if you can imagine a pin board, a cork board that you put on your wall. You usually put a lot of pictures on there, and some people use it as, let's say, just to hold up pictures, your child's nice artwork, or things that you want to take advantage of in the future. One thing that I like Pinterest for, that a lot of people don't use it for, is to create a vision board. A vision board, not a private one, of course, but you can create a private one on Pinterest, by the way. But if you create a vision board, a board on Pinterest, you can actually create a vision board that you can actually, stay on top of and share with the world. And sometimes when you put your goals out and your visions out into the universe, pretty much people hold you accountable for it. Is what it is. People look at you if you want to own a new car, a new house, a new job, a new business, whatever it is. I usually encourage my clients or my students or anyone that I teach to create goals. And when they create goals, they can create a vision board. Pinterest allows you to do that. Okay. Now, that's one thing that you can use it for your EAP clients. However, if you want to use it to get traffic to your website, this is how I would do it. Pinterest is all about images. Okay, if you have images of someone holding a lot of cash in their hands, and then you put it on the image, click here to I want to show you how I got all this cash, and the person clicks on it and it goes to your website. Then you have a page that says I got all this cash when I opened up, when I attended my EAP program. I went through the program and they helped me put a business plan together. And when I put this business plan together, I was able to go to the banks and I was able to get funding or something to that effect. Okay, does that make sense? So if you have pictures like that, it helps you when someone clicks on it to actually go to a website. Okay. The way you get traffic from Pinterest is by putting provocative pictures online. And provocative doesn't mean that it's something that's going to get you in trouble, of course. Provocative means something that's going to get the attention of individuals. All right, so again, a pile of cash may not be provocative enough, But someone that they may know holding a pile of cash, maybe yes, okay? Or it doesn't have to be cash, it could be a check. It could be a picture of students and their inventions if they went through your class, or it could be anything. Someone's holding something up and he's saying, yeah, do you know what this is? Click here to find out, and then they're holding up their invention, whatever it is. All right, so things of that nature. Again, Pinterest gets you viral when other people repin your images. Okay, you can like the image or you can repin the image. When you repin the image or other people repin the image, that's when it goes viral. Okay, viral just means that a whole bunch of people will also see it. Okay, because when it's repinned, it's pinned onto their profile, and all of their friends and everything helps them out. Okay. All right. So all the images, when you put it on your online, if you're gonna use Pinterest, make sure that you take the image from your computer, upload it to Pinterest, and from Pinterest, create a link back to your site. Okay, just follow the instructions on Pinterest, and they'll show you how to do that. When people repin other people's images, what you're doing is promoting someone else's image. Okay, unless you actually upload it from your desktop or from your computer or even from your cell phone and send it to Pinterest. Unless you do it from there, you're not going to be the originator of it. The originator of the image is the one that's going to benefit the most. Okay? So make sure that you do that. But one thing that you have to be careful with, if you take someone else's image and it's written to them, which means it belongs to them, and you start, you take it and you upload it and you're the originator of that, well, you could get in trouble sometimes, okay, because of copyright infringement laws. All right. Yes, everybody's doing it. It doesn't mean that it's right. All right. Do it correctly, especially when it's for your center, because when they change the laws, and they are going to change some of these laws in the future because it's just being abused and everything else. When they change the laws, then you don't have to worry about it. All right. So just whatever image you have, make sure you take it yourself. Make sure you have consent to use the image, and then just post it onto Pinterest. And when we post it onto Pinterest, people will hopefully repin it. All right, just go and play around with it and see if it's something for you. I did it just to learn how it works and everything else, and I have a board out there. I do infographics, and if you go to my board, you'll see what I have on there, and it's just cool stuff that has to do with information, that has to do with the internet, and it has to do with marketing, it has to do with business, and it has to do with a lot of cool things. You can do pretty much the same thing. Alright, so let's talk about how to take advantage of all social media without wasting any time. Because a lot of people waste a lot of time in social media. If you don't want to waste time in social media, you don't want to get comment on things, you don't want to put stuff on your board, you don't want to do all these different things, all you have to do is pay them. The way you pay them is through advertising. Okay, right here is an actual panel of ads from Facebook. Okay, if you see in the graphic on the very top, it says sponsored, and then to the right of that it says create an ad. You can click on that little create an ad button, and you too can pretty much talk about, promote your upcoming event, or promote your upcoming anything, or just your centers or your services or whatever it is. If you don't want to spend too much time on social media, there are a billion people who are already doing it. There are a lot of people in your area who are already on there commenting back and forth and everything else. All you have to do is place an ad. It's not that expensive to do so. It goes according to your budget. You tell them how you want to pay it, whether it's through impressions, how often your ad shows up, or through click-throughs, which is someone actually has to click on it in order for you to actually have to pay for it. Excuse me. Okay, so everything is explained in the in the advertising section of Facebook has it, LinkedIn has it, Google has it through AdWords, and it's not embedded into their Google Plus yet, but it will be once they decide that they want to monetize that. Okay. Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google all have these programs. You can laser target your market. You can actually choose by gender, age, sex, place of work, where they live, where they hang out, with or without kids, time of day, day of the week. You can pretty much target anyone you want, any way you want. When people put their information and they create these profiles and they upload these images and they talk about all these different things, all of these different things are gathered by Facebook, Google, and everyone else, and then your ad is matched to those individuals. That's how targeted you can be. And Darlene is asking, does creating an ad cost money? It doesn't cost you anything to create the ad. It costs you to run the ad, okay? Because naturally, Facebook and all these different places, the way they stay alive and the way they created, the reason they created all these things is so that one day they could monetize it. The way they monetize it is through advertising in this case, and other ways as well, but the most evident way is through advertising. You can create the ad, you can create the campaign. They have to approve the ad in the campaign, of course. And then you just add your credit card to it, and then you start paying. And it could be $10 a month, it could be $1,000 a month, $5,000 a month. It could be anything you want. It could be $5.77. It's not going to get you anywhere, but it could be anything you want it to be. Okay? Just know that the reason that they get all this information from you is so that they can actually advertise, have people advertise to you. Okay? And once you do that, you will be taking advantage of social media. And right now, that is pretty much the presentation. This is how to promote your EAP center with social media. You can actually ask me any other questions that you want right now. I'm going to stay on for a couple of minutes. If not, then thank you very much for attending. I have recorded this, and hopefully we'll be able to make it available to you. Okay? And someone is sending me a message. Wait, please. Okay. I'm going to wait here for another minute or two. For those of you who have questions, I'll be able to answer anything you want now. Okay, I probably won't be able to answer things like, like how to do something specific. My phone number, in case anyone is wondering, which you're not going to call right now because I'm doing this webinar, but my phone number is, and I'll type it in here for you so you can just see it, is 845-940-5369. Okay, that's 845-940-5369. And of course I put an equal sign instead of that sign there. And that's my phone number in case anyone needs to contact me. And Flora says thank you, and Dennis is saying thank you. Everyone is saying thank you. Thank you very much. Can you please brief about Google Plus Circles again? Thank you. Okay, Marcus. Google Circles is a way that you can segment all of your everyone, your family, your friends, your clients, it could be people, your poker party group. Okay, circles are just the way. It's just the way that Google Plus segments people. It allows you to actually contact those individuals only and no one else. Okay, so let's say that you post a message online about the poker party was changed to Wednesday instead of Thursday this week. All right. When you post that, you just say post to this particular circle, no one else, and that's all you need to do. Okay, so that's what Circles is all about. It's a lot more to it than that, because you can invite your Google Hangouts, to do the video group and stuff. You just invite certain circles as opposed to certain individuals, and you can do that as well. Let's say you have 2 or 3 or 4 people, that you want to do a hangout with, that you could do a one-on-one online with. You can do it through the Hangout, or you can do it through the circle. You can do it any which way you want. Okay. Oh, you're talking about Hangouts. Oh, good. So I spoke about Hangouts as well. Hangouts is used a lot. You could do video sharing. Let's say you want to do a half-hour presentation, an hour presentation on how to, do a cash flow on your Excel, using Excel, right? You can actually invite a few of the students who are having a hard time, taking cash flow projections and actually making it work. And you can say, okay, join Google Plus. I'm going to invite you to a Hangout, and only the people that actually are part of this particular circle is going to be able to watch this Hangout or hang out with me, and I'll explain this to you. So through the Hangouts, you can actually not record, but you can actually share your desktop. Your desktop, of course, meaning Excel in this case, and they can actually see you working through a a cash flow projection. When you do that, you get people who can ask you questions right there and then, as if they were sitting right next to you. The only thing is they don't need to be sitting next to you. They don't have to travel anywhere or anything else. And if Joyce allows it, that could actually work towards technical assistance, because you are assisting them. Okay. Joyce is saying, Edison, I'm Edison. No. Okay. If you are starting a business and already have a profile on Facebook, do you need a new email address with a new profile? Are you basically starting from scratch? Okay, when you already have a profile, and that's a good question, Joyce, you can use your own profile and you can create a page for your EAP center. You don't have to start a new profile. As a matter of fact, Facebook does not want you to start more than one profile. They will pretty much terminate that profile for you if you do that. Okay, you're supposed to just start one profile, but you can start as many pages as you'd like. And let's say, for instance, that you start a page for an EAP center, and then that the person who's handling the EAP center leaves, the way some of them do. You can change the administrator to the new person that takes over, so you don't have to start the page all over again. You just simply the other person is no longer the administrator, the new person's the administrator. Everybody's happy. Okay, so you don't have to create a different profile for a different page all the time. Okay. Let me see who else is saying anything. Did that answer that question, Joyce? I hope. And someone else is saying thank you, and don't forget to thank you presentation. Don't forget to email us the presentation so we can have all this great information. Yes, I'm going to make sure that I email everything to Joyce, and Joyce is going to actually make it available to all of you guys one way or another. Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, Joyce is saying thanks. Can you tell me where on my Facebook page I can look to create a page? Yes. Well, sometimes they move it around, Joyce, actually, but usually when you log into your page, to your Facebook page, on the left-hand side, there are a whole bunch of links like a navigation. One of them says create a page. Now, one thing, if you just created a profile, Facebook will not allow you to create a page right away. You have to have at least 25 different, interactions. People, at least 25 people. You have to befriend at least 25 people before you can actually do that. Like create a page. But let's say you had a page already. There's a little thing that says create page, or create group or anything like that. To create a page, you just simply do that. Sometimes when you log in, it's also on the upper right-hand side of your page. It all depends on how you have your settings. But usually, there's a little button that says create page. You click on that, follow the instructions, and name it whatever you want to name it. And that's pretty much as simple as that. And again, I can show you if you like. After we're done with all this, I can actually go into Google and share my screen and show you how to do all these things. I can do it through this system as well, but I'll do it after the presentation just to make sure that this actually records the way it should. Okay. Any other question? Anyone else? Okay, Joyce is saying great. Thanks, Edison. You are as usual the best. Oh well, thank you, Joyce. Thank you for that. All right, great. So I'm going to log off now. Thank you very much again for attending. This is Edison Guzman signing out, and I'll see you next time. Take care.